Managing a business is hectic. Clients, meetings, tasks, projects, team members, and just so much to keep track of. In this video, I'm going to be giving a walkthrough of my updated Notion Business OS template, which I perfected after working with tons of clients in the last couple of months. You can manage your clients, services, meetings, invoices, and a lot more stuff all in one place. You can get this template from the link in the description, and with that out of the way, let's get started. So this is the main dashboard of the Ultimate Business OS. On the left side here, you will see the navigation area. On the top here, we have some quick action buttons, and then you can see your team members, your projects, your tasks, the overdue tasks, and the unscheduled tasks. You have your time entries for today and yesterday. Then we have a little events calendar here, the clients that we are working with, and the companies that the clients are related to. On the left side, we can also see a quick short view of our company goals, and then on the top, we have all of our navigation pages right here. On the left side, you can see we have our work section. So we have projects, tasks, and timesheets. So the work is particularly, the hierarchy of the work is at the top, we have the projects, then projects can contain multiple tasks, and the tasks then have timesheets. Now, each of the individual team member will have their own particular dashboards where they can see their own particular information. So for example, if I open this particular team member, we can see we can connect them to a particular department. We can add the type, role. We can also go ahead and add a monthly salary or a pay per hour for the particular employee, and then we can see the due payment amount and the amount that we need to pay this particular employee based off the pay per hour or the monthly salary. So the monthly salary automatically tells you when a particular team member is due payment and when it is not due payment. Then we have inside the team member page, we have a messaging center, so team members can send messages from one team member to another. And then we have a department notice board, so any notice that comes to the management department will appear on this area right here. Any events this particular team member is connected to, the payments that this particular team member has in the recent, and all of the payments, so we can always go ahead and change the views. The holidays of this particular team member and the goals for this particular team member are right here as well. Then we can see the team member can see the tasks that are due by today, by status, and all of the tasks that need to be done, and they are assigned those particular tasks. And then we can also see the overdue tasks for that particular team member as well. There's also a toggle to view the task by a weekly view and a monthly view. Then we can also see the timesheets for this particular team member as well. Any project they are working on will also appear right here. So now that we have a good overview of the team member dashboards, we can always go ahead and look at how to add a new employee. So that was all for team member dashboards. You can always go ahead and add as many team member dashboards as you want, and it will auto-populate this particular dashboard for them. Now you can see that we have projects, we have tasks, and we have time entries. Before going into the details of this particular system, let me show you how you can set up your client system. So the first thing that you'll need to do is go into the client CRM. So the client CRM contains all of your status pipeline. You can capture new client lead, and you can also go ahead and create a new lead project from right here. So creating a lead project is super simple. Just click on the capture new lead. So this will create a new client. So let me just go ahead and capture a new client. So let's name him Dave. And we can add the email. We can connect this particular client to a company if you want. Let's just go ahead and connect it to an individual company. So this is any client that is just working individually and does not have any company related to them. And then we can add the description, like the information for the client. We can add the last contact date, the priority, and we can also go ahead and add some notes if you want. And the status is automatically updated based on the project of our client, which we are working with the client for. Now we can add a new proposal from here, but let's just go and add a new project for Dave. So this is Dave, let's say website development project, and we can add the timeline. So this is the timeline of the project. So let's say it's from tomorrow till next 2 weeks. We can add the assignees that will be working on this particular project. So this is directly connected to our team members. So you can see we can also assign roles to our team members from here, and you can just go ahead and see which one you want to assign it. So we need a designer, we need developers, and we can just go ahead and add a founder as well. So we can just quickly go ahead and link the team members to that particular task. Then this is the client automatically connected right here. Then we can connect services to this particular project. So services is very important. So this is connected to the services database that you will be setting up once you get this template. So any services that your company as an agency is giving to the clients, you will already go up, you will need to fill it up beforehand, and so that you can just go ahead and connect it to the project, and it will automatically be then connected to the invoices, so that you can just have an easy automated workflow for your project from lead to client payment. So let's go ahead and connect our services to this particular project. So we have website development. Let's go ahead and add website design as well right here, and copywriting as well. So you can see that we automatically have an estimated value based on the services price that we have set previously inside our services database, which I will just go show you after this. So you can automatically get the estimated value. This is not the value that the client will be paying. This is just an estimated value. Now that we have connected our client, let's simply go back. Now you can see the Dave website development project is now inside our lead sales pipeline. So this is automatically connected to our lead sales pipeline. You can see the estimated value. Now let's say you have sent the proposal to that particular client. You can just drag it and drop it into the proposal category and add a proposal from right here. Creating a new proposal is super simple. Just add it here, the proposal, and we'll just go ahead and create a new proposal from here. Clicking on it will open it. Now adding the date of the proposal, and the status is, let's say, send. For now we can connect our client, which is Dave, and we don't have any invoices to connect it for now, so we'll just go ahead and leave that empty. You can add the company name, so this will automatically be filled up for every proposal that you have once you set up the business OS for yourself. So this is the seller information, so this will automatically be like you just have to do it once, so it will automatically come inside every proposal, every contract, and every invoice. You can go ahead and add the goal for this project, and you can also quickly see the services that you already connected to this particular project, and you can always go ahead and add it here. So we have website development, and we have website design, and we also have copywriting. So just a moment. So we'll add this. We can add the description. We'll just go ahead and add like the quantity of the services that our customer is buying from us. So it's 1 for now. And now you'll notice that we can also add the price. So currently the price for the total value is $9,000. We can also see the individual pricing by clicking on the services here. It's 4,000, 4,000, and 1,000. Let's say we add like 5,000, 5,000, and 2,000. Now you can see this is the estimated sum that the client will be paying. So this is just an estimated sum inside the proposal. We can also add the delivery timeline, and we can also just go ahead and give a discount to the person as well. So this will just we will just quickly create like a proposal for our clients that we can send it to them. We can share this as a public page, so we will publish it to web, and we will just share it with that particular client. So we can just go ahead and copy the link and send the link to that particular person. So this is super simple, super easy to use. Now that we have made the proposal, and let's say the proposal is accepted on the client's end, we'll simply drag this project to our one and onboarding stage. Now once we set the status of the project to one and onboarding, now we'll go back to our projects database. So this will be our project page, and it will appear right here. Now you can see the website development project is automatically shown inside our project database as one and onboarding. Now before going into the projects, let me show you how you can add the services. So let's go into the services page. Here you can see we can add all of our services. We can give them a base price. This will be the base price. You can always go ahead and charge more or less from your client when we are creating the invoices. You can also go ahead and add categories here as well. Now that we have added the services, let's go back to our project. You can see all of the services for a particular project by just clicking here, the estimated cost, and so on. Now once the project is in onboarding, we can go ahead and add a client portal to our particular project. So adding a client portal is super simple. You can just click this button here and then add a client portal, or you can always go ahead and open the project as a page and then use the buttons here to add a client portal. So let's go ahead and add a Dave client portal. We'll create a new client portal from here, so it will automatically connect it. Clicking on the client portal will open it as a full page. We can go ahead and invite our invite our client to this particular client portal, and they will get access to this page so that they can see what's going on. We can see the project timeline. You can add the stages of the projects. You can go ahead and create new stages as well. Inside the stages, you can add like the actionable steps. So in the stage 1, which will be the onboarding stage, we can add like the agreement, contract, invoice. Once it's done, we can just go ahead and check this, and the progress of the stage will automatically update. We can send messages to the client. Any meetings with the client will appear here. Any payments with this particular client will appear here. The tasks, so you can show some of the tasks inside the client dashboard. So we'll get into that in a bit as well. So you can select which task you want to send to the client dashboard, client portal, so that your client can see them. You can also assign some tasks to your client as well from here. So here we have like a calendar view where the client can see the agency task, any meetings, the client task as well. And on the left side, we have a navigation area which have dedicated use cases. So any passwords that the client may want to share, they can share from here. They also have like a breadcrumbs so that they can quickly navigate back. Any document and resources they want to share will appear, they can share it inside this particular page, and any like passwords, any link to Google Drives and so on. So everything is just inside one particular page that you and your client can stay in touch without sharing, like going through multiple loads of emails and back and forth. Here you can also add like a project objective, and you can also like have one video explaining to your client how to use this particular client portal. Now that we have an overview of the client portal, let me just quickly go back to our project. So we'll just navigate to our project, which is Dave website development. So now we have connected our client portal with this particular project, and that's pretty good. Now we'll just go ahead and add some tasks to this particular project. Let's say we add copywriting, and we'll also add wireframing, which will be for our designer. And then we have development. Now these are the 3 tasks for this particular project. So you can see that we just added a new these tasks, and we can go ahead and assign it to a particular team member. So you can see we can assign it to a founder, Edward, a developer, and so on. So copywriting is for the founder, wireframing is for the designer, and the development is for the developer, which we have right here. Now as you can see, we have already connected some developer here, Edward as the developer here, so we'll just go ahead and assign the task to him as well. Now we can also go ahead and add multiple developers. So if we add Dave as well, so that they both can work on the development of this website, so we'll just quickly go ahead and add Dave here as well, so that they can see this particular dashboard inside this particular project inside their dashboard. Now you will notice that there is like a toggle button here, so we can always go ahead and add subtasks to a particular task as well. So you can like divide tasks into multiple steps as well if you want. But for now, we'll just go ahead and leave it empty. If you want to share this particular task that you have with the client portal, so you can just go ahead and check this button here, and it will share this particular tasks with the client portal. And let me just go ahead and quickly add the due dates. And now if we go back to our client portal, you will notice that this task automatically appears right here inside this agency view. You can see these are a task that the agency is working on for this particular client. You can also see like a calendar view for those tasks as well. This is if you want to share the task with the client, but obviously for privacy reasons and for other reasons as well, you can always decide if you want to send the task to the client, or if you want to keep it private inside between your agency. So now that we have created the task, let me show you how you can manage the salaries and the pay per hour for the particular employees by using the timesheets mechanism inside this particular template. So if we scroll back to our team members, we can see we have 2 developers here. So the Edward, so this is our first developer, he has a pay per hour of $40, and we also have Dave, who has a pay per hour of $80. So let me just quickly go ahead and you can see there is a payment due status here. So let me just go ahead and make it 0 so that you don't confuse, and we can see how our template is working. So let me just quickly go ahead and make it 0. So now you can see all payments for Edward are paid. So now we can just go ahead and experiment with our timesheets. So now if we go into Edward's page, we will notice that there is a task assigned to this particular team member. So Edward is the development of the website. This is the task design assigned to this particular team member. You can see there is another team member here as well, and you can see the project is Dave website development, and the client that we're working with is Dave, and the total time spent on this particular task is 0 minutes. Now, how to add a timesheet to this particular task? Let me go back to the project page so that it is much more clear for you. So this is the project page. This is the project that we are working with currently. So let's go ahead and inside our development project, let's say the copywriting is done and the wireframing is complete as well. Now let's go into the development task, and here each of the 2 developers can add their own time entries. So let's say the first half of the website is completed by let's say Edward, and the duration he spent. So you can add a manual duration, or you can just add the start time and the end time, and Notion will automatically calculate it for you. So let me just go ahead and quickly include the start time, and let me add the end time as well. So let's say he worked on this for around 3 hours. You can see the total time spent automatically calculates. So this is 3 hours and 0 minutes, and the total labor cost for this particular time entry is $120. Now you ask why this is $120. You can see if we go to Edward's page, you will notice that the hourly pay that we have set for Edward is $40. Now if we go back again, Edward spent 3 hours on this particular task, so 40 multiplied by 3 is 120. So this will automatically tell you the total labor cost spent on this time entry. Now if you notice that the total labor cost of the entire task is also calculated, so this is based on the time entries that your employees will enter here. So let's say the second half of the website is also done, and this time our employee team member is the second developer that we have. So he spent, let's add a manual entry here. So let's say he spent around 300 minutes. So this duration is in minutes, so you can always see this. So this is in minutes, so he can just go ahead and add like he spent 300 minutes on this particular on developing the second half of the website. Let's quickly just add the start time so that it is added into our account for today. And on the time spent, you can see he spent around 5 hours on this particular on developing the second half of the website. So the total labor cost is $400. So if you notice, if you go into Dave's page, you will notice that Dave's payment pay per hour is $80, and hence we have a budget. We have like total labor cost of $400. Now, if you go back, we'll notice that the total payment for the entire task is now $520. How? Because 120 plus 400 is $520. So this total labor cost for this particular task is automatically added here. Now, if any task is delegated to an outside team member, so you have delegated a certain task to a freelancer, let's say, so you don't need to go through all of these time entries. You can just quickly come here and add the cost that particular team member, that particular freelancer has asked you to pay, and you can just quickly add it here. So it will take into account everything, and every time entry will override. So let's just go ahead and leave this empty so that we can see how the time entries affect our project and how we can see the budget, how we can see the payment due for each of our employees. Now if we go back to the main page, so this is the project page here, you will notice that the total labor cost of all of the tasks will appear right here. So this will take into account multiple tasks, and this will take into account multiple payments for multiple client hourly rates. Now the hourly rate, the timesheets only take into account the hourly rates, and the salary employee are not taken into account. So for the salary employees, they will automatically be notified to you that a salary is due for a particular employee based on the number of months they have spent working for you. But the hourly employees will have their like due payment status updated based on the number of hours they work inside your business. So now we can see that the total labor cost for this Dave website development is around $520. And you can see the profit of this particular project is in negative 520 because we have received no payment from the client as of yet. So let's go ahead and see the employee payment before going ahead and creating a new invoice. So let's go to the main home page of the business OS. So this is the main dashboard. Now if we go into the salaries page right here, we will notice that we have payment pending for we have payment due for Edward, and we have payment due for Dave. So the salary status, this is for those that have a salary pending. So the salary status will appear here, and so we have not paid this particular team member in this month, so that will appear here, and the payment due status will appear right here. So you will notice that we have a payment due for Dave of $400 as I just showed you inside the timesheet, and for Edward we have a payment due of $120. Now this will automatically stack up based on the amounts of hours the team members work, and paying the team member is super simple. Let's go ahead and pay Edward. Let me just quickly go ahead and pay Edward, select the date of the payment. The payment due is $120, so we'll just go ahead and add $120. If you pay more than $120, it will tell you, let's say if you paid $140, you will notice that it says advance paid of $20. Now, once the Edward is adding their timesheet entries, this will automatically balance out, and you will not be paying extra to any employee. So this will just balance out every time they add a new time entry. So the payment due for Edward was $120, I think. So let's just go ahead and change it back. Now you can see all of the payments for Edward are paid. Let's just quickly go ahead and connect it to a month. And that's pretty much it. This previous entry I added to balance out the payment for Edward, but now this is the new entry that we added here. Let me just quickly remove this. And this is the new entry that we just added right now. So if we go ahead and change it to 0, you'll notice the payment due is $120, add it, and it automatically takes that into account. Now connecting it to a month ensures that we have added it as a monthly report. So we'll just go into the report section as well. Let me just go ahead and pay Dave as well. So here we'll add team pay, select the employee, it's Dave, and add the amount. So Dave, the due payment for Dave is $400. We'll just quickly go ahead and add 400 here and connect it to a month. And now you can see the Dave, this is all the payments are paid. So when connecting to a month, you will notice there is a checkbox indicating that this is a current month. So you don't need to like scroll down and read every month to know which is the current month. And that's pretty much it. Now let's go to our reports. So this monthly view connects to our reports. So here you will see all of the incomes, all of the expenses, any salary payments that you have, all of the balance, and so on. Now let's go back to our project. And now let's create an invoice for this particular project, which we'll be sending to our client. This is the main part here. So we'll just go ahead and navigate here. We can see these particular buttons inside the project page. We can always go ahead and add an invoice from here, or we can go into the invoice page here and connect the invoice. We can just quickly create a new invoice from here. Invoice issue date is today. Invoice payment date is today, is tomorrow, let's say. And the invoice status, let's say we have sent. Connect the client. Client is Dave, and let's add the project here as well. The project that we are working is Dave website development. Connect the month. So this is the current month that we are working with, and that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and hide the properties, and here you can upload an invoice, or you can just go ahead and delete it. So we can create a customized invoice from here. You can add the client information, their address, issue date, payment date. Now let's go ahead and add the services charges here. So we can always go back and refer to the services that we are giving to this particular this particular client. So this is the Dave website development project. These are the services that we are providing them. So just quickly tally them here inside the services area. So this is website development, website design, and copywriting. So website development, website design, and we also have copywriting. Now you will notice that the service price is $9,000. You can also go ahead and add them individually. So I just added them as one service. So let me just quickly go ahead and add them individually as well, so that you can get an idea of how you can work with the invoices. Website development, and we have website design right here. We can add the description, add the quantity, and just add it here. And now you can see that this is the service-based pricing. You can always go ahead and charge according to each individual client. This will not affect the base pricing. So this will just update the invoice, and you can go ahead and hide this. And you can also give a discount if you want. So let's say 20% discount you're giving, and just copy it here. And you can see this is the final sum that your client will be paying. Just copy this sum here, $9,600, and just remove this reference so that the client has a clean view. You can upload the payment link here or add the bank information here as well. And you can always go ahead and export this page as PDF. So you can export it as PDF and share it with your client, or you can just share it as a web, and the client can just come here and click on this payment link and pay your particular invoice. If you don't have services connected to your project, you can always just go ahead and hide this services page, hide the services property, and use this description as the name of the service, and then add the quantity and add your actual price. Now, if you'll notice, if we go back and let's say this was our new invoice, let's just name it Dave invoice. Let's say Dave has paid this particular invoice, so let's just select paid. Now you will notice that the income that we generated from this invoice is $9,600. So let's navigate back to our project. So this is our project. Let me just quickly add it into in review section here. You can always go ahead and change the views that you are comfortable using. So you can always have different views for the projects. So let's go ahead and check what we have. So now if you notice that our profit is inside positive, so it automatically gets the information from the invoice and tells you how much profit you made. So the client payment for this particular project is $9,600, and the profit generated from this project is $9,080, because we have a labor cost here, which is $520. Now, if you have any other expense related to a project that is not inside the labor cost, that is not connected to any like employee payments, you can always go ahead and add expenses to a particular project. So let's say this is an expense you are creating for this project. Let's say you bought a domain. Let's say you bought a domain, right? So you can create a new domain expense and add the type. So this is a business expense. Add the date. Add the team member who made an expense. So we are not like paying anyone, so we'll just leave this empty. Add the amount of the expense. Let's say $100. And the month, obviously, we'll just go ahead and select it just for reference here. So I'll just come back to this later. So now you'll notice that our profit goes down. Why? Because we have like an expense value as well here. So you'll notice that the expense value, just a minute, this is the client payment, this is the total labor cost, this is the estimated value, and we also have expense amount, which is this one here. So this $100 we made an expense for this particular project, and it automatically deducts that from our profit. So you can always go ahead and add any expenses as you want according to your project, and it will take that into account. Now, this was it for the project. So you can also see the task progress. So if we just go ahead and check the status to complete, you'll notice our task is completely done and the status is in review. And because the client has paid our invoice, we'll just go ahead and change this status to complete. And now if we go back to our main dashboard, the project is gone from here, and it will be shown here inside the done category here. All of the active projects will be here, undone will be here, and the done will be completed here. And if we go back to our project page, you'll also notice that our completed project tally is now 1 because we have completed a particular project. Now, just before completing that particular project, let me just bring it back. It was Dave, just a minute. Dave website development project. Let me just change the status to in review. Now, if we go back to our main dashboard, you will notice that the client, Dave, the status of the client is in review. So this is directly taken from the project that is currently active for this particular client. You can always go ahead and check this here. You can also open the particular companies and see the clients for those companies here and any project that they are working with. So this is pretty much it for the projects, tasks, and timesheets, and how you can manage your employees. The employees can send messages to each other and it will show up in their dashboard. They can always add sub messages as well. They can add sub tasks, and you can also manage your invoices, expenses. You can also track your incomes similar to expenses. You can add invoice income, or you can add general income here. You will have a calendar view of all of your income, so you can see this is the due payment for our particular invoice here. So Dave invoice, so he has paid it today. So you will notice all of our income and invoices appear right here. So this is the invoice that we just created, and the subscriptions, we can also track our subscriptions here. So any active, non-active subscriptions will be right here. The salaries, we just saw how you can pay a particular team member a particular salary. If they are on a monthly salary basis, then it will tell you when it's time to pay to that particular employee, and it's super connected, super simple. We have proposals, contracts, we can edit your services, we have employee pages, we have notice boards. So this is any notice board, any notice you create and connect it to a particular department, it will show up in all of the team members that are connected to that particular department as well. You have events calendar, you can create meetings, you can schedule meetings. So any meetings that you create will appear here. Any meetings connected to a particular client will show up in the client portal for that particular project. And any assignees for the meetings. So you can see if we have like this meeting, you can see that the members, you can add as many members as you want to that particular meeting. You can connect that meeting to a particular project as well, so that it shows up inside the project dashboard, and you always have like a single view of what's happening inside your business here. Now let's go ahead into our content planning and content management system of this particular business OS. Here you can manage your social media, you can manage your blogs, so you can add content, you can see the upcoming content, so you can add like the idea. So if it's an idea, it will show up inside this idea view here. You can see all of your content by stage, so you can always go ahead and drag and drop them into any to change the status. You can also have like a monthly overview of your publishing schedule, so you can see this is the idea that we need to publish in 3 days, sorry. And that's pretty much it. If you open a particular platform, you can see all of the posts for that particular platform. You can see the post by stage as well, and all of it is connected in one space. You can also create ad campaigns for to promote your business. So let's say if you want to create an ad campaign, a new ad campaign, and you can always select the platform for the ad campaign. Let's say Instagram, add the amount $200, the timeline, so let's say from tomorrow till 30th, select the month because it's September, so it's like September. Now you'll notice that the monthly budget, so the report for the ad campaign category automatically updates. You can add monthly budgets to the categories, and it will automatically start from 0 every month, so you don't need to worry about it. You can see the status, campaign status is planned, and you can also see the timeline. Let me change the type to ad campaign. night will show up right here. So the timeline will show up right here. And that's pretty much it. On the calendar view here, we can see the timeline here as well. Now let me show you the budgeting categories for the expenses. So here you can see we have all of our expenses. We have our salary payment that we paid, and we can see we have like a bot domain expense that we created as well. We can see the calendar. So this is the ad campaign expense that we created as well. So you can see all of the expenses by monthly view as well and by weekly view. And here we have some categories that you can use. So for salary, we can add like a monthly budget for these categories, and every month it will automatically start from 0. If you exceed this particular monthly budget, let's say for the salaries here, you can see that we have exceeded that particular budget here, and it tells you that we have that you have exceeded the budget here. So let me just quickly go ahead and undo the change. And that's pretty much it for the expenses. You can always go ahead and create a new expense from here as well. Well, that's all for the Ultimate Business OS. I hope you guys liked it. And if you have any questions, just feel free to comment down on this video or contact me via email. I will be glad to answer them. You can check out more detailed information on the website for this particular template, which will be in the description below. So you can always check out the landing page for this website to gather more information on it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and cheers. See you guys in the next one.